think we're live. All right. Warning. This podcast can get a little biased. I will admit to you guys that sometimes we can say some shit that gets a little funky in some situations, I guess you could say. So if you got any kids around and you're listening on your TV, I don't know if you really want the kids around, or if you do, it's just you're an awesome parent. Then, but the, but either way,
Raising them right.
but either way, we do it in all good fun. So don't take anything too seriously. We're just a couple guys who love to speak our minds. But anyways, we're far side of the pod. I'm Jordan. We got Ridge.
What's up, guys?
And we got Caleb.
Hello, how are you doing, everybody?
So, on this week's podcast, I guess we're going to start off by talking about Ozzy Osbourne's final show at Back to the Beginning yesterday. Or day before. I think it was yesterday. I don't know. But either way, Black Sabbath had their final show, and Ozzy Osbourne performed for the final time in his life. They had like a big festival. People from like a shit ton of bands was there. From like two from Sleep Token was there. Pantera was there. Youngblood performed, of course. Metallica had a set. Alice in Chains, you name it. If they were big in the metal community and they had some kind of impact, then they were there.
They were there.
The main thing I really want to say about it is, I just want to give thanks to Ozzy. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a lot of the music that we have now. I mean, if you think about it, not even you think about it, Black Sabbath invented heavy metal music. Like,
Come on, sorry, keep going. I've got to clear my throat.
But Black Sabbath started heavy metal music, man. Like, literally, all the bands that were there wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for Black Sabbath. And they would have all told you that. And just the fact that Ozzy, while he sat in a chair the whole time, sounded a whole lot better than Vince Neil and Axl Rose does. Is insane. Just the man.
Yeah.
The man literally all he did was sit in a chair and sounded better than a lot of the old singers that sing live now.
He's got Parkinson's, mind you.
And he's got Parkinson's. And the thing is like they straight up said he can't really move. But when he was on that stage, bro,
yeah,
you could tell he wanted to bust out of that chair so bad, bro.
Oh yeah, you can tell he can feel it.
And like the part that really got me was during "Mama, I'm Coming Home." He was crying while he was singing.
He was, yeah.
And like, if you don't know, the show took place in their hometown, and literally he performed that song right down the street from where he was born. So it was like a big thing, and a big emotional send off for him. And I'm though I wasn't like the heaviest of Ozzy Osbourne listeners or Black Sabbath. I listen to him. Like, I'm a fan of him. And, No More Tears and Mr. Crowley and Mama, I'm Coming Home are my top 3 songs by him. So it's like...
you got generals gathered in the masses. Yeah. That's one of my favorites from him.
So
such an influential song.
Ozzy is arguably one of the most influential people in metal music history. So... I just wanted to start off the podcast by saying thanks to him and wish him well for the rest of his life. And I also wanted to bring up that Kelly Osbourne got proposed to by Sid Wilson at the show.
Really?
Not in front of the crowd or anything. It was like backstage in front of Ozzy and Sharon and all them. But he proposed to her there. So that's a big congratulations.
End of an era, beginning of a new one. Yeah.
But yeah, y'all got Caleb? You got any more to say on it?
I'm happy that he got to, have his big send off because a lot of these rock and rollers they never got that chance. You talk about people like AC/DC. You talk about people like, even in Pink Floyd. Sid Barrett. if anyone's a Pink Floyd fan and they know Sid Barrett, then they know the whole tragedy behind that. I mean, not a lot of rock and rollers really get their their last go around. Some of them they usually don't make it,
Right.
and he kind of deserved. I think Ozzy kind of deserved to have that go away for
Oh, for
him.
sure, for sure.
Um, and like I was one of the guys that whenever he did the song with Post Malone, I was like, man, this is great because like, and I watched the whole thing where Sharon talked about how Ozzy like he was really depressed before that whole thing, and
The
then
thing is
Post
like,
Malone shows up and wants to do the song with him, and she watched him just like do this recording with him. She said it was like someone just injected life back into him. It changed him, that he felt loved, and
the thing
I
is like
just I just think that's a really good thing.
he even said at the show that he hasn't literally like been out and about in years. So that show
Yeah,
was like him like because he was thanking the crowd and
it was big for
telling them how
him.
much it meant to him.
Yeah.
But Ridge, you got anything to say on it?
Uh, Not a lot, no. I didn't listen to Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne as much as what y'all probably did. Don't get me wrong, I jammed out on loop in elementary school, Crazy Train like nobody's business,
Who didn't? Who didn't?
and
Yeah.
Flying High again. Those were
Okay.
my two jams. That and I remember at one point, whenever I was a little kid, I wanted to, I wanted to be a roller coaster designer for the longest time. And my very first idea for a roller coaster was going to be a kind of like Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith,
Right.
kind of. But instead, it was going to be a three. Don't ask me how, because I was a little kid. A 3D roller coaster designed to Crazy Train,
Oh, you know what?
and
That's still
Mm,
yeah.
that sounds fire, actually.
you was going to be like on a quote unquote crazy train going off the rails, right?
Yeah.
And have a bunch of wild things flying by you and whatnot while you veer off the path or whatever. And like I remember too, like the big thing I wanted outside this big old building, show building, if you will. I wanted the words "Crazy Train" the ride, but right up above it, a ginormous statue or like half statue of Ozzy Osbourne holding his hands out with his chains around his hand and his glasses on, having his big old smile
Yeah.
at everybody while they come into the Crazy Train. And it's blasting Crazy Train.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, that's my little
That
piece
would be a
from
cool
it.
roller coaster. I'm sorry, I'd ride the hell out of that.
But before we get on to the next before we get on to the next segment, I do gotta bring up one memory I have of Ozzy is fucking Little Nicky.
Oh my God, yes.
Whenever like the brother turns into a bat and he's like, "I got you, bitch," and he like throws the orb down and Ozzy comes out.
It just
And
everyone's like, ah, see.
I love the metalheads that
Yeah.
he follows throughout the movie. They're like, "Holy shit, it's fucking Ozzy Osbourne."
I like when they rewind the record.
uh, dude,
Chicago.
that made everybody
I was like,
trip out, bro. That made
everybody
trip out.
start reversing every song they could. Be like, please tell me I'm not listening to demons.
But just again, just want to say thank you to Ozzy and Black Sabbath for creating the genre that we love. So yeah, on to the next segment. We're going to talk about some EA Sports for a second. So first of all,
EA Sports.
as you can see on the screen, EA Sports this past week officially announced that they will be coming back out with EA Sports College Basketball. Don't know exactly when yet. I'm hearing speculations of like 27 when it'll come
Dang,
out.
that long? Well,
It took them that long for
well,
college football. Like
Well, I got to think about right now. We're halfway through, over halfway through the year already. So I mean, you're probably more realistic to think 27.
so
Probably, I'm thinking it'll probably come out either around Christmas time 27 or like I think spring.
it could be spring, just in time for March Madness. Maybe it'll be like a big
That's what I'm
game
thinking.
then.
Maybe. That's
Either-
I'll
what I
be
was
it
thinking.
for 28.
yeah, I've also heard 28 as well. So
28. Oh man, I don't think we'll be on this earth that long.
well, the thing is like EA has got
2028?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brother, you setting your bars low on life, ain't you?
I'm just preparing for the trumpet sound, my brother.
But either way, the thing is like with them, it's EA and they got to take their time. EA is known for their football games, and they knew that college football was going to be a hit. The thing is like EA's not got the best track record when it comes to basketball games, so
Yeah.
they got to really put it down. They got to put down something that people are going to actually enjoy. So
Well, maybe they'll get some like a kind of third-party developer that does good basketball. I mean, you know how they have the last time, in my opinion, they had a good basketball game was probably NBA Street Volume 2.
no, they've had some good games.
Be honest with you.
They've had good basketball games since then.
But yeah, but I just never cared for. I mean, you got
Like
NBA Jam, Street Volume 1 and 2 were like those were like the goated games right there.
Well, the EA like NBA Live, like 06, like 08, like those are really good.
Yeah, those are good. The new live one they did was trash can.
The last few NBA Lives wasn't that great. Now they were fun.
No, they were garbage.
The thing is, they were fun, and you didn't really have to spend money to upgrade your character. 2K.
Yeah. Yeah, to take some notes.
Like it was a good alternative for people who didn't want to spend $200 to make your character a 99 overall. But
Yeah.
it was
I
nice.
just fear that's the direction 2K is going to keep staying because I mean you see with all these video game developers getting really freaking greedy lately,
Yeah. But,
and it's bullshit.
Ridge, what you got? What you think on EA Sports coming out with college basketball?
I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see happen. I just hope that they do their rankings better in what they're doing with football.
Yeah, yes. Oh,
If they can get that in line, that might help. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough too, just because you got 2K already, pretty much cruising in the basketball realm. All 2K had to do, and all 2K has to do, is create a college experience in their games beforehand that's a little bit more so, and they might be able to make a run with that more so, if that makes sense. No, it probably doesn't.
They put colleges,
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
They put colleges in 2K. It's just like you get to play.
It's not a
You get to play like
it's not a main
Yeah,
staple,
Yeah.
right?
He's talking about like expanding the amount of time you spend on that college team.
Yeah. Because you only get to play
So
like,
which would make it a little bit better because it would give. Imagine being able to play like like a full senior season of your college career before you go.
and the thing is like 2K could always give people the opportunity of whether they just want to skip straight to the NBA or what. So I mean, yeah, that could.
Well, real question here is do we really want them to be the ones to do it? Because you and I both know that they'll make that a DLC and charge us $40 for it.
Who knows? I mean, the thing is EA Sports is doing it, and I just hope they do it right. It's just my thing is
Listen,
if the EA does it right, 2K could be in trouble.
listen. So I think
I'm wondering.
though. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think though that my thought is if 2K did it first, somehow really fucking quick, maybe it is a DLC that you can add on, or it could be a separate game as a whole, like EA does with college football and your NFL game. but at the same time, you can cross your player from college after you're done into the NFL
Yeah.
and go
I
from
do think
there.
it, yeah,
If
I
they
do
can
think it's
come up
weird.
with that, if they can come up with that for either 2K or EA, you're fucking set. Same with, to me, same with, that's what they need to start doing with baseball too.
Oh yeah.
I know they're kind of dipping their
Oh
toes
yeah,
into college play again in 2K or the show, whichever it is. I can't think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You only got
Um,
you only got to play like 3 or 4 games in it.
Right. So they're kind of dipping their toes in, but again, just the more you can give me, to me, the more you can give me to start with college and upgrade my player through college and then continue that development even more into the pros, the more I am going to want to play that game, you know?
Yeah.
Whoever can
Yeah.
do that first and the best has my money.
yeah, and let's be honest, like what Jordan was saying, like EA's not got exactly the best track record of basketball games as of late, and it's just to me, like I said, I think it's just weird that it feels like to me with this game, like it kind of feels like a backpedaling or like